Yo, what's poppin' guys? Kaizucker here with an Elden Ring video, and today I'm going to be showing you what I consider the ultimate, most versatile faith build. Now this is insane, right? This is a godly build. This is what I used to beat the entire game, okay? So, let's just get right into it. This is a Blasphemous Blade lightning combo. I call it the Blasphemous Dragon, right? Well, that is because we are not only using, of course, the Blasphemous Blade, but our other key weapon is the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. Now, what is the reason for this, right? Well, here's the thing. There are lots of enemies in the game that are resistant to fire damage, okay? You'll encounter a lot of those in places like Mount Gelmir, etc, etc, so it's always good to have a backup damage type when you're doing something that's so commonly resisted. So, our backup, of course, is Lightning, and the hardest hitter spell is easily the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. As you saw at the beginning of this video, it absolutely melts bosses. And guys, that clip of me fighting Dragon Lord Placidusax wasn't even at this full strength. You could melt bosses not even trying, not even focusing at your full power. This build is insane. It makes the game easy mode. Now, some of the stuff is high level, right? Like Blasphemous Blade is kind of later in the game. This is why this is a level 150 build. But you don't need Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike for this build to work. I realize that is an in-game item, okay? That is for the end game. You find it in the last region of the game. So yeah, I don't expect you to have that at the start of the game or even most of the game, but Lightning Spear is considered one of the best incantations still, and it is absolutely insane throughout most of the game, still even in the end game. It could do crazy damage, especially to normal enemies. It gives you range, so you still have options, guys. You have options all throughout the game, but yeah, as soon as you can, do get Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. It is insane. So let's talk about our stats. Of course, we are level 150. So Vigor is, as you probably know by now, what makes the game easy mode. It helps you out a lot. You want to get it as close to 50 as possible. Ideally, you'll have a different class than me. Now, I picked a warrior class to start because I had no idea what I was doing. This is my first playthrough, my first FromSoft game ever. Never played anything like it, never played Dark Souls, so I thought warrior would be nice and easy, but it turns out magic is where the damage is. So I changed to Faith later in the game, after I was Blood and then Faith, and this, guys, I couldn't beat the game with a Blood build. I was having trouble on the last boss, but I switched to this, bada bing, bada boom, last boss defeated. So, yeah, as high vigor as possible. If you have a different class, it might be easier, you might be able to reach 50. If you can do that, perfect, but just get as high as possible, barring your other stats. Now, also make sure you get your mind as high as you can, at least enough to cast the Tish summon, which is the strongest summon in the game, as you probably know by now. Endurance as high as you need to get that Elden Bling going on, so I would have it lower. Ideally, you'd have it somewhere from 15 to 20, but if you're like me and fashion is what matters, then you want to have it just the bare minimum to wear what you need, okay? Strength, you only need it for 22 for the Blasphemous Blade. Dexterity, you need it for 15 as well. You don't have to have it 16, it's just, again, my starting class. Intelligence, no points needed. Faith, you want to get it to 80, okay? So, when I beat the last boss, I did only have 50 Faith. But, the thing is, Incantations still scale really well past 50, all the way to 80, and if you're using the Erdtree seal like me, then that is going to hit incredibly hard once you get to 80. It is the best seal for your incantation damage if you have Faith of 80. So definitely do that, okay? It's definitely worth it. Plus, it boosts your Blasphemous Blade weapon art ability, boosts your Ashes of War. Now, if you are the kind of person to use lots and lots of like normal attacks of your weapon, if you're planning on just doing regular swings for your Blasphemous Blade, then yeah, you could be fine at 50, you could put more points into Vigor, you could put more points into Dexterity, Strength, whatever else, right? This build is flexible. You will do just fine at 50. As you saw, I beat the last boss with 50, so you don't have to have your Faith completely maxed out. But if you want maximum damage, 80 is what I recommend. And then Arcane, you don't need any Arcane, alright? Now, you will be, of course, using the Blasphemous Blade. Like I said, Gravelstone Seal will boost your lightning damage, so have that, switch to that when you're using lightning spells. Erdtree Seal is what you will actually be casting your spells with, so use that in your offhand and cast with your offhand. Just switch your right hand to Gravelstone Seal when you're using lightning, okay? But you don't have to worry about it for buffs and stuff like that. And as you see, Gravelstone has 318 incant scaling, whereas the Erdtree Seal has 336, so it is definitely the stronger one to cast with. It has better scaling. And for your armor, it literally does not matter, guys. Just wear whatever you think looks cool. I mean, there are pieces that boost strength, pieces that boost different stats, but that doesn't matter, guys. Elden Bling all the way, so wear what you like. But yeah, for talismans, I have a mix of stuff for my Blasphemous Blade and for my Incantation. So first of all, Godfrey Icon increases charge spells and skills. This will affect your Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike. It will not affect your Blasphemous Blade damage, unfortunately, but it is a nice boost to have for your spells. Kyrian Filigree Crest is amazing for letting you spam Blasphemous Blade as much as you want without running out of FP. It is great, especially because your FP might be kind of low like me. 23 is kind of low. Ideally, you'd have it higher. Ideally, you'd have somewhere from 25 to 30 at the minimum. But again, I put some points into endurance for fashion, so sue me, okay? And Shard of Alexander is also incredible for your Blasphemous Blade. It will greatly boost the actual weapon skill of your blade. And finally, another bone to throw towards your Incantations is the Flux Canvas Talisman, which is also incredible. It will boost your Incantation skills. But again, your talismans are flexible. You could switch some of them out. For example, if you know you're going into a fight where the enemy doesn't take fire damage very well, then you could switch one of your charms to the Scorpion Lightning Charm, and that will boost your lightning damage, and then you could just focus on lightning, okay? And same for the vice versa. If lightning's not very effective, or you have a very small enemy, Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike isn't going to hit them very often, then you could use a Fire Scorpion to boost your Blasphemous Blade damage. Pretty versatile. Same can be said for your Flask of Wonders physique. Ideally, you would have, for all-around general purpose, lightning damage boost and fire damage boost in your physique. But if you're going against a boss, again, that doesn't take all the fire damage, then you could use something else like Poise boost, you could use a health boost, you could use a bubble, whatever you need to survive, or just boost your poise, or whatever makes you comfortable, right? It's very flexible, but at least have one of the damage types in there. It's very nice to have. It'll really help your damage, especially if you stack it with other things. So yeah, ideally lightning and fire damage in your flask, but you could use one or the other depending on the fight. And of course, for your summon, Black Knife Tish is the strongest in the game ever since the Mimic Tier nerf, so that's a no-brainer. But yeah, guys, that is it for this build. I'm going to show you some actual gameplay now, and that'll be against Dragon Lord Placid Deusax. But before we get into that, while we're watching this beautiful cutscene, I want to talk about the main incantations we use. The first one is very important. It is a beautiful buffer that is Golden Vow, increases all of your damage. It's very nice to have to start any fight, even if you're just doing lightning damage. Another one is Flame Gunnery Strength, which is amazing for raising your physical and fire damage. So when you're using Blasphemous Blade in any situation that you are, which is a lot of the time, you're going to want to use that buff as well. And then, of course, Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike is the main one. There's also Lightning Spear. There's also Fortisax's Lightning Spear. Those are all good options if you want. But yeah, those are the main spells. Now about this fight. I was really excited because I had high expectations for a difficult and fun battle. I had a friend who told me about this fight, and it sounded really cool, right? So I was really looking forward to it. But the thing is, this build is just too good, guys. As you're about to see, we completely steamroll this boss before it could even move, right? It can't do anything. It can't do anything, right? It doesn't move, it just stands there and dies, right? So you're about to see just absolute crazy stuff right here. And just keep in mind, this fight isn't even the max potential of this build. I am using the Gravelstone Seal to cast a spell when I should be using the Erdtree Seal, right? That's the optimal, has the better scaling. I should be using Erdtree Seal with Gravelstone in my other hand to boost lightning damage. However, as you can see, even though I'm not playing optimally, even though this is my first try, I have no idea what I'm getting into, I'm just steamrolling this boss, already half health, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, I should be scared, phase 2's coming, but no. I just keep melting this boss's health. I was so disappointed by this fight, to be honest. I was expecting something really cool, and then the boss is just dead. As you can see, the boss is just completely demolished by this build. Easy mode, right? So yeah, I had to watch videos on YouTube to witness the full fight because I was that disappointed. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe for more content. Yeah, guys, that is it for today. Kaiserker out. Peace and booyah.